All right, and welcome everyone to yet another episode of the ARCA Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Evans, aka Startin' Parker here, and we have a fun show for you guys today. It is the first episode for the East season in 2024. Yes, the ARCA East season. I call it the Weak Link Series because they kind of are, but nonetheless, they are starting their 2024 season, and we are here to preview their very first race, which is a standalone. Most of the races this season are combo events, but this is one of the few standalone events that they're having at Pensacola. We're going to go over the entry list. We're going to go over the full-time drivers. The series overall, God dang, Cody Dennis in the chat already throwing chat. Come on, Cody. I call it the wink link of the series. You have to watch the whole show, man. But yeah, we're going to go over the full-time drivers. We're going to go over the tracks this year. We're going to basically talk about the whole series, talk about the championship battle, and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, we got a lot of fun show for you guys today. I'm going to go through my little intro, go through the beginning of every podcast, and we'll get right into the ARCA action. So you guys know the drill. Follow me on social media, Startin' Parker on Twitter for all ARCA tweets, lower budget NASCAR tweets, and occasional crap you guys seem to enjoy that I tweet about. Like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for notifications. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. The goal is at least 10 to 15 likes, somewhere in that range. That'd be nice. Super chats are open. If you'd like to send one and support the show, that would mean a lot. And, of course, check out the Racing Experts for all NASCAR meet-related content, the official media partner of this podcast. So, like I said, guys, let's jump right into it, shall we? The ARCA East series, a series that we all kind of love. Obviously, it's been one of the weak link of the ARCA division, really ever since ARCA took over the ranks of the West and East divisions that used to be the former K&N division. I mean, it's the 2020 looked promising, but then COVID really hurt the series. The series only had like 6 races in 2020. I think like 7 in 2021, and then I think it's had like 8 the last couple years, man. It's definitely been a struggle. Car counts have been the biggest struggle for this series, and 2023 was really no different. A lot of the standalones struggled for car counts. The combo races, they were fine, but the standalones really, really struggled for car counts. The championship was actually a lot more contested than I think people realize. The 28 of Luke Fenhouse and the 18 of William Sawalich actually had a really, really fun championship battle that went down to the last race. You didn't know who was going to win the title until that last race. Ultimately, it did go to William Sawalich, which, even though if you do count it under the KBM banner, yes, it was still pretty much JGR, just had to change names. But Toyota, JGR, Joe Gibbs, or KBM, whatever you want to call them, they basically have won the last 3 or 4 drivers and owners championships in the division of the East Series. But yeah, like I said, car counts have definitely been the biggest problem. Last year's series was not overly the best. The standalones did not provide the best action. This is not me trying to bury the series, guys. Trust me. This is just me being honest. There's a difference between burying the series, and there's a difference between being honest. And this is being honest. But again, I'm going to get to good news in a second. I am proud to say that so far, early ranks, can you be less honest? Dang it. Okay, Cody, I'm trying here. I try to be honest with you guys about this show. When I say the race is good, it's good. When I say it's bad, it's bad. I try to be honest on this show. Here's some positive for you, Cody. I'm happy to see that this entry list for Pensacola is arguably the best-looking ARCA East entry list for a season opener since 2020 New Smyrna. There. Is that honest? I'm happy to see that, okay? Last year, we only had 15 cars for the season opener at Pensacola. Only 13 ended up starting because, unfortunately, Rita Goulet crashed in qualifying, and Dale Shear had some sort of engine-related issues with the car. So only 13 cars started. We had 3 starting parks. Oh, look at that. Cody Dennison donates $10 in the chat just because I was less honest. Oh, God bless you, Cody. I love you, man. But going back to what I was saying, last year's race only had 10 Dale got sick, yeah. Dale got sick. The car wasn't 100% ready. Luckily, they were able to complete the season, but we only had 10 full race cars last year. And I'll be honest with you guys, it was not very good. I was honest with the race. The battle between the 18 and the 28 was not bad, but it was just clear you weren't going to beat that 18 car. Pinnacle really hadn't come into their own yet as a team. It was one of their, I think it was their first race out. And, they performed well, but yeah, like I said, really wasn't anything special. Looking at this year's entry list, we have a solid 18 cars, which I know it doesn't sound special, but when you guys really think about it, 18 cars for an East Series standalone race, not a combo race, but a standalone race, that's pretty good. To get 18 cars for an East standalone race is very, very good. And looking at this entry list, it's not even like it's full of a bunch of starting parks. It's not like it's full of like 6 or 7 starting parks to help raise the car counts. There's a couple of starting parks in there, yes, but it's not like there's like half the field is going to be starting parking. So very solid. I'll go over the entry list right now. I'm going to go in just order. And we're going to give everyone a shout out here. So we'll start off with the 0. Looks like Nate Moeller. We have Peterson bringing 2 cars here. We'll get to the second one in a second. We have the 0 of Nate Moeller. Bubba Pollard, yes. During the announcement of his 88 ride with Junior Motorsports, it was also announced that he would be running this race. Looks like it'll be under the Phoenix Racing banner in the number 1. We got good old, what was supposed to be Ed Pompa in the 10. It was supposed to be Ed Pompa in the 10, but I have been told by some representatives at Fast Track Racing that Mike Basham will be driving the 10 car, as Ed Pompa apparently is out with a back injury. So well wishes to Ed Pompa, man. Hope he's doing okay, and I hope he gets healthy again soon. Ed's not a spring chicken. He's on the older side, but I love Ed. Met him at Daytona again. Love Ed. He's a cool character. So hopefully Mike Basham's deal is a full race. Mike Basham is really good behind the wheel. He knows how to get the most out of Andy's cars without wrecking them. So hopefully this is a full race deal for Mike. But yeah, was supposed to be Ed Pompa, but he is out with back issues again. Well wishes to Ed. Everyone in the ARCA garage, Ed, we're all pulling for you. So get back to the track soon, buddy. So yeah, continuing on, we have Zachary Tinkle. He is one of the full-time drivers running for Fast Track once again in the East Series with former Daytona 500 winning crew chief Todd Parrott. We got the 12 of Presley Sora. How about that? Yeah, it's a sim to reality kid, one of my good friends. He ran the test for Peterson at Daytona, got clearance to run short tracks. And he is making his East Series debut for Andy Hillenberg. Last I heard from Presley, it is still 100% not clear whether this is a full race or a starting park deal. I hope it's a full race because I want to see what this kid's got. It's kind of weird him saying that. I'm only a year older than him, but it's weird how that works sometimes. But I'd like to see what Presley could do for the whole race, so I hope this turns into a full race deal for him. Then we got the big juggernauts. We got William Sawalch in the 18, of course. He's another one of the full-time drivers. Gio Ruggiero or Giovanni Ruggiero, whichever you want to call him. In the 20, those are 2 of the full-time drivers. Then we got Connor Zilich. Yes, the guy who just won the 12 Hours of Sebring and has also won the Rolex 24 Daytona in class. He is now running the East Series. He's now running for the East Series Championship. So how about that? So yeah, kind of cool, guys, to have the a Rolex 24 class champion and a 12 Hours of Sebring class champion running in this weekend's race. Obviously, Connor Zilich is going to be a developmental driver for Trackhouse. He's going to be running truck races, Xfinity races, lots of ARCA races this season. I would bet that Connor will be in quite a few races in the 28. More than likely, he'll be at Mid-Ohio and Watkins Glen for the ARCA Series races. I'd be shocked if he's not in those. This kid, he's 17. I'm only 22 years old, guys, and I feel old. Like, seriously. I hate saying that. But, I'm only 22 years old. And this kid is 17 years old, and he's already won the Rolex 24 in class. He's already won the 12 Hours of Sebring in class. Is he going to Le Mans? Does anyone know if Connor's going to Le Mans? Because if he is, he might win that too. I mean, Jesus Christ, you talk about, a star. I know, Cody. I know in the chat. I know. It's like, damn. Like at 17, I was doing part-time crew gigs for MBM, and this kid's freaking winning Rolex 24s. Damn. Either way, hey, great pickup. I'm sad that Luke Venhouse isn't back, but still a great pickup nonetheless by Pinnacle Racing Group. And hopefully now that they've had a year under their belt in ARCA, we might see even better performance this year out of the Pinnacle Racing Group. We got another full-time driver, Rito Goulet in the 31. Another full-time driver, DL Wilson in the 39. That is a second car out of the Caleb Costner Weaver team. Wilson's running primarily East full-time, but don't be shocked if you see him in some main races. That's just, again, all due to sponsorship. Good to see Brad Smith on the entry list. Now, Brad looks like he is driving a Ford. I hope this means that Brad got the Ford motor fixed from Daytona, and this is simply a test, because Brad's done that before. He's used East races to test out the motor that he recently fixed. He did it like a couple years ago with a Chevy motor. So I hope that's what this is, and that he got the Ford motor fixed from Daytona, and that this is simply a make sure that everything's all good with the car before they probably run this car at Dega. Or not the car, but the motor at Talladega is what I mean to say. Then we got the 55 of Jake Finch. So it's kind of weird seeing Jake Finch in the 55 car, and Bubba Pollard is running the Phoenix Racing car. So Jake is running against his own car. It's kind of weird, but hey, love the challenge. Then we got Colton Collins in the 93. Now, Caleb Costner was supposed to run this car, but I'm guessing since Colton Collins came along with some funding, Caleb, he's running full-time main, so it's not a big deal to him. I mean, he probably would happily step aside, take the money, and have Colton run the car. So that's not a big deal to him. Hunter Wright will be in the 95 for Noble Motorsports. Good old Dale Shear in the 98. Michael Maples, of course, running full-time main series and full-time East. And then our 0 entries, the 06 of Cody Dennison, who is in the chat. Then we have Tyler Scottfield in the 07. So definitely just by reading off that entry list, guys, a way more stacked field than what we had last year, which was, again, only 15, and including in that 15 was about 3 to 4 starting parks. In this race right now, it looks like Brad will more than likely be a starting park, yes. Nate Moeller, he'll more than likely be a starting park, yes. Presley, we're still not 100% sure about that. Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention, add Cody Dennison to the full-time East driver count. Well, sorry, Cody. I forgot. He told me that weeks ago. I just forgot. Sorry, Cody. Yeah, so add Cody Dennison to the full-time East chat as well. But, yeah, so the 48, maybe the 12, and the 0, I believe will be our possible starting parks for the race, which would mean we would have a guaranteed right now 15 full race cars, which, again, still isn't great, I know, but for an East race standalone, I'm going to take that as a win, especially when you consider that we only had 15 entered in, like I said, last year, and most of those cars didn't even run, very competitive at all. At the end of the day, more bodies out there on track is better. Even if they can't win the race, just having more bodies out there in the mid-pack is so beneficial. So beneficial for sure. Another thing that we also noticed, and this is another change that I do commend the series for. I know we don't like less racing. I do sometimes nag NASCAR when they shorten races, when they shorten cup races, when they shorten Xfinity races and shorten truck races. I don't like that. This is one of the few times, though, where I do make an exception, and I think that might make an exception where them shortening this race from 200 laps to 150 laps might actually be a good decision for the series. Not going to deny that. Last year's race, like I said, it was only 200 laps. It was 200 laps. We only had 10 cars going the distance. It got pretty boring out there. I'm not going to deny. It was not one, like I said, it was not one of the best races. But shortening it down to 150 laps, we've got more cars out there. I think it's a good call. Now, the race is going to be over very quickly. Last year's race barely took over an hour. It was actually an hour and 12 minutes was the race last year. And that was probably the reason why it was more than an hour is really because of the break. The break that took so long. With this race only being 150 laps, the race will probably won't even be an hour. So it's going to be a blink and you miss it race. Last year's race had 4 people on the lead lap last year. 10 finished, 4 were on the lead lap, just to be clear. But yeah, just overall, I'm excited about the decision. I also think with only 150 laps, the sense of urgency is going to be a lot higher, which is also good. We need a higher sense of urgency because kind of what we saw last year was Sawalich would get such a big gap and then he would just kind of ride, and then Fenhouse he would use up all of his stuff trying to get there. Okay. Well, now the race is shortened by 50 laps. Okay. Obviously where the break is, the sense of urgency is going to pick up. Obviously there still might be some riding around, but the sense of urgency is going to be a lot higher than where it was before. And I like that aspect. I do like that aspect. I will be honest with you guys, though. Five Flags, I wish was on the main schedule. I've said this for years now. I'm really kind of shocked that this is not either a combo race or a main series race. I love Five Flags, obviously, with the Snowball Derby. It's a very, very legendary short track. I'm really shocked that this is not a primary division race because it's a very, very fun racetrack. But yeah, so that's the entry list. Like I said, going over the full-time drivers now, or the full-time cars, I should say, right now are listed, would be the 93, the 99, the 28, 31, 39, 11. I believe the 10 is going full-time. The 18 is going full-time. The 98 is going full-time, and the 20. That's what Wikipedia has listed right now. I think Peterson is doing I'm pretty sure Peterson is doing the whole East schedule. I think the 95 will probably end up doing the whole East schedule too. They usually run quite a few East races. Definitely, I don't know how many, again, I don't know how many for sure because the East series doesn't kind of get all the news, but still definitely quite a few cars there. The way they do their Owners Championship bonus, it's the top 15 do get a bonus at the end of the year. So obviously that's going to be the incentive for a lot of these teams to get that top 15 owners bonus, which we've seen guys like Andy, guys like Brad, guys like Wayne run East just so they can get that little bit of extra money. Because like I remember Brad, he started and parked almost the entire East season, but he was able to get that top 15 bonus money. Looking at the entry blank, which again, you guys can go on arcaracing.com and you guys can see the official entry blanks to go to the competitor website, which is free to everyone. And right there, you can find the entry blanks for all ARCA races. It's one of my favorite parts about the ARCA website. So this race will be on Flow Racing. This will not be televised. Live Saturday, March 23rd at 8 p.m. Central. 18 cars. First place gets $5,000, of course, with the contingency awards that ARCA offers. First place is actually as much as $12,750, $6,325 for second, and $4,050 for second. That's kind of been the same purse money for the E Series for quite a while now. 18th place, last place will be $1,050. However, one of the nice things about this race being on Flow Racing is the top 20 cars do get an extra $200 bonus from Flow Racing from being in the top 20 cars. So I guess you could say the good news is right there. And for a lot of these ARCA teams, trust me, every single little dollar goes a long way. So for teams like Peterson and Brad, maybe that's why they bring an extra car. So in some ways, because you get an extra $200. So instead of getting $1,050 for last place, now you get $1,250 for last place. When you look at this entry list right here, you get bonus points for being the top Chevrolets, the top Fords, the top Toyotas. So it kind of can also depend on what make said team brings. Like right now in this race, if the entry list is correct, there's only 3 Fords. The 0, the 10, and the 48 right now are the only Fords listed on the entry list. Now, I don't know if it's going to exactly be, because sometimes these makes can change when they actually show up to the track. But like, for instance, like for Ford Performance, you know, if there really is only 3 Fords and Brad brings a third Ford, well, that nets him an extra $750 cash right there. So you got to think, guys, there's a real game to how a lot of these teams bring their cars and bring their manufacturers. It really is a game, and it's a fun game, and that's why I love talking about it on this show. But yeah, I mean, if that really is the case where there's only 3 Fords, Brad would automatically get that extra $750. So you add that plus the $200 from Flo, and right there, Brad's already upped it to about $2,000 in purse money. So again, not a bad deal at all. So yeah, as for our championship right now, if I got it correct, our full-time East drivers are Zachary Tinkle, William Sawalich, Gio Ruggiero, Connor Zilich, Rita Goulet, D.L. Wilson, Dale Shear, Michael Maples, and Cody Dennison. Did I miss anyone? I believe those are our full-time East Series drivers. That's a pretty healthy lineup. That's a pretty healthy lineup of full-time drivers. Definitely a lot more than we had last year. So like I said, right there, it's already a positive. Obviously, with the equipment, I'm sure we can kind of narrow it down to probably Zilich, Ruggiero, and Sawalich. It's just, I'd love to see some of these other guys be able to compete for the championship, but unless they're driving that kind of equipment, I just don't see it happening. But what I love about this is, you know, we've seen the 18 team, like it's so obvious they're probably going to win the East Series championship. They're so dominant in this series. But I think, guys, we can really confidently say, I don't think that the 18 car is a guarantee to win the East championship this year. We saw how Gio ran at Phoenix. He went up there and he took the lead from William Sawalich. He had a long run car and he went up there and took the lead from William, and William could not get back to him. Gio pulled the gap on him. So I don't think it's safe to give the 18 car the championship right now. I don't think we can. I do think it might take Connor some time to get used to these cars. So, you know, if he can just have if he could finish like 3rd or 4th, maybe in this race, and not get too far behind in the points, I think Connor will do just fine. And he might even be an underdog for the championship. But it is so good to see that right now. We have logistically 3, I would say, in my personal opinion, we have 3 logistical choices for the ARCA East Series championship. And when you've looked at the East Series the last couple years, we really haven't been able to say that. You know, I think in 2021, it was what? Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray, or was that 2022 was like Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray. Last year's William Sawalich and Luke Fenhouse, and that was kind of it. It's only kind of been a 2-horse race the last couple years. This year, it's a 3-horse race, and I'm really excited for that because, you know, Venturini, they bring it their all with that 20 car. The 18 team, they always bring it their all. And with how much Chevrolet has clearly invested into Connor Zilich, number 1, and how much probably Chevrolet support they're going to give that 28 team, I expect that 28 team to be on fire too. Cody, if you had the motor and you had the tires, I'd probably put you on the list too, okay, buddy? But you just don't have the motor and you don't have the tires, so I can't put you on the list. I'm sorry. I would put you on the list, though. But yeah, so, and the race, like I said, guys, it is on Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Time, so 7 p.m. my time. I'm going to be announcing, might as well just announce it right now. I was supposed to be doing my test with Will Kimmel in the Salem Supercar tomorrow, actually. So I was actually supposed to be in Salem right now, but our test got moved to Monday. So on Sunday, I drive to Salem, and then on Monday, I do my test at Salem in the Salem Supercar with Will Kimmel. And then on April 14th, we do our feature race. And then I'm not going to name the team yet because we haven't discussed enough for me to probably announce it. Wow, that's messed up. Oh, come on. What did I say, Cody? What did I say? What? Oh, come on, Cody. Dang it. Now I've upset him. Oh, man. Now I've upset him. And I know we've shared so many memories. But no, going back to Will Kimmel, I race on April 14th, and I can't say the ARCA team yet, guys, but I really am trying my best to put something together for Iowa. I really want that to be my debut race. I'm trying everything I can, guys. I've had some big sponsor talks, unfortunately, fall through, which, hey, that's the sponsor game, you know. So I'm trying my best, guys. I really am. And if I have to put it a lot out of my pocket, maybe I just have to do that. I don't know. But I can confidently say I will be at Iowa, and I just hope that it's a full race deal, not a starting park. But if it's a starting park, it's a starting park. I just hope to be in that Iowa race for sure because, number one, I want to race against Connor Zillich and just be able to say that I raced against a Rolex 24 champion. I want to race Cody so we can have a friendly bet and see who's better. And I just want to no, I can't say that on the show. I can't say the third thing on the show. Sorry, guys. I can't say it. It's got something to do with Billy Venerini, but I can't say that on the show. I can't say that on the show. But yeah, I'm expecting a way better race than last year. That's all I'm going to say, number one. Just like I said, the deepness in the field is good. I hope we do see some more improvement out of Rita. Obviously, this was a struggle for her last season, so hopefully we see some more performance out of her. Love Tim Goulet. I love those guys. Like I said, well wishes to Ed Pampa. Curious to see what Bubba Pollard is. God, I almost didn't give a winner's prediction. The logistical winners of this race also, I've narrowed it. In my honest opinion, I've narrowed it down to Bubba Pollard, William Sawalich, of course, Gio Ruggiero, Connor Zilch, and Jake Finch. So, in my opinion, we got 5 guys who, in my opinion, have a logistical real chance of winning this race. Like I said, it's hard to choose, man. It's hard to choose who could legitimately win this race. Who could legitimately win this race? I think the easy pick, guys, yes, would be William Sawalich. I just think that's a little too easy. We know Gio is good. Gio is very good. Venerini brings their all. And, Jake Finch, he was really good here last year, too. Finished third. He hung there with the 20 for with the 18 car there last year. I know Bubba's really good here, but I don't know if that Phoenix car, not Bubba, but I don't know if the Phoenix car will be able to hang with the 18 and the 20. I just don't know if he'll be able to. But you can't throw him out either. So I'll go with Bubba Pollard as my underdog pick. And my race winner's pick, I'm actually going to give it to Gio. After what I saw at Phoenix, I think if that race had went on, I actually think Gio would have won. I don't think Sawalich will be able to hold him off. But I'm going to go with Gio Ruggiero to win this weekend. And my underdog pick, I'm going to go with Bubba Pollard. So, and if I had to get a championship pick right now, I'm going to go wild, and I'm going to pick Connor Zillich as my E-Series champion for this season because I just think with the car control that guy has, I think he'll be a lot better on these short tracks than maybe even I am giving him credit for right now. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going with Connor Zilch as my early championship pick. I'm going with Gio Ruggiero to win the race, and I'm going with Bubba Pollard as my underdog pick to win the race. This race last year did not feature any natural cautions. Will we see any this year? We do have a couple, like I said, we have a couple more cars in the field that are running the whole distance. Maybe we'll see a natural caution, spice things up a little bit. But I don't know. We'll just have to see when it comes to that. So, let's see here. Anything else to talk about here on here? Already talked about, I'm just looking through my list, guys, making sure I talked about everything real quick. Talked about Ed Pampa, talked about that, talked about purse money, talked about the Kimmel deal. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, guys, not the longest episode this week, just because it is an East preview show. We have ARCA Talladega coming up in a couple weeks. We do have another West Series race coming up soon. Like I said, once we really got into the full thick of things, guys, we're going to be here almost every week doing whether it's East Series reviews, West Series reviews, or Main Series reviews. And yes, actually, that is correct. Next weekend, not this one, but the weekend after that, March 30th, we have the West Series at Irwindale. And then April 20th, we have the main division at Talladega. So like I said, guys, we're in full gear with the ARCA season, man. East Series is going this weekend. We have the West Series now underway. And obviously the main division is in the first quarter of their season. So we're in fourth gear right now, guys, with the ARCA series. And it's gonna be hellacious, like it always is, guys. Because if you tally up all the races that the ARCA series does, we do just as many races, if not more races, all together with East, Main, and East, Main, and West. We do almost just as many races as the Cup Series does. So, like I said, we're here a lot with our East, West, and Main preview shows, and then the East, West, and Main review shows. Now, obviously, I also plan on getting some people on the show this year. Obviously, I'd love to have Cody do a live stream with me for this one time. Maybe we'll do a live stream out there Talladega. Cody can finally, we know Cody's going to be in the show at Talladega, so we might have Cody on the show after Talladega to discuss the race. Trying to get some more ARCA. Luckily, a lot of ARCA people follow me, so I'm going to try to get some ARCA people on the podcast. I would love to get some friends from Fast Track Racing on here. I know there's some people at Venturini that like me. Maybe I'd like to get them on the show. Just as many ARCA people as we can getting on the show as possible. Really want to make this the best ARCA podcast season possible. As for my next ARCA race in general, I'm not going to be driving, obviously, until Iowa. But my next ARCA race in general will not be until Kansas. That'll be my next ARCA race where I don't think I'll be doing the optional test practice, but I'll probably just be doing the crewmanship with Brad that I've been doing in the past. So, yeah, all that fun stuff, guys. Like I said, it's going to be, and look at that. Cody's already said yes. All right, look at that. Now we just got to figure out how we're going to make it happen. Maybe we can do Zoom or we'll just have him call in. I don't know. We'll figure that. We'll figure out that later. But yeah, so, and I do, we'll end the podcast. Just once again, one more well wishes to Ed Pompa. Hopefully Mike Basham has a good run this weekend in the 10 car. Well wishes to Ed Pompa. Get better, buddy. Assuming he's running Dega again. He usually runs Dega. So maybe he was saving himself for Dega. I don't know. But yeah, well wishes to Ed Pompa. Get better, buddy. And to all East Series competitors, best of luck. It's going to be, I'm actually excited. I can actually confidently say that I'm excited to watch the race this weekend. I admit last year's I was not the most skeptical, but this year I'm very skeptical. 4 to 5 legit race winners, a strong mid-pack field, a couple of starting parks, but you're going to have that no matter what. So I'm excited for this East Series season, and that is not something I expected to say a month ago. That is not something I expected to say a month ago, that I am genuinely excited for the East Series season. Will we probably see the same 3 winners? Sure. But does that mean it's bad racing? No. Does it get a little repetitive? Sure, though. We're just used to that. We're used to that, okay? That's what happens. That's how this goes sometimes. We see the same guys win a lot. That's how it goes sometimes. Does it mean the race is bad? No. It can just get a little repetitive at sometimes, like seeing Jesse Love win half the season. I got nothing against Jesse Love, but man, did it get repetitive. I had nothing against William Sawalich, but seeing him run up front every damn week, it got repetitive. That's how it goes, folks. That's why I still love this series. You just got to deal with it. So, anyway, guys, looks like I'm going to get out of here. I got really nothing else to talk about, and I don't want to hold you guys with boring Rampter. So, we'll see you guys on Thursday with Backmarker Battles live at 7 p.m. Central again. I am so excited to talk about that one. We got some crazy entry lists to preview for COTA. We're also going to be reviewing this past weekend's racing at Bristol, which was absolute chaos with the tires. So a lot to talk about on Thursday, guys. I really, really hope you all join me for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun discussions to talk about there. And then, of course, next Tuesday, we will have the ARCA East Pensacola review show and then the preview show at the same time for Irwindale. So, like I said, guys, every Tuesday and every Thursday, we're doing a podcast live at 7 p.m., and I want you all here to join me. So, hope you guys love my new baby microphone. Hopefully, it's improving. Is it improving the sound quality for you guys at all? I don't know. It's cheap, and it works. So, decided to get a microphone instead of just speaking to you guys right at the camera. So, I am bantering. What am I doing? Anyway, guys, seriously, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for all notifications so you guys never miss a podcast when I go live. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all on Thursday live at 7 p.m. for back marker battles. I'm going to get back to some dinner and have a good rest of your Tuesday night, guys. Colby Evans, starting Park Car. I give you guys the goodbye salute, and I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye.